Welcome to a new episode of the DJwives LV podcast. Make sure you subscribe on the podcast platform of your choice. Don't miss any updates. Follow DJwives LV on Instagram. And now, coming at you from Las Vegas, let's begin.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of DJwives LV. I am Tanya.
I'm Bev. I'm Vic.
I'm Raquel.
Hi, guys.
Hello everyone. Well, on today's episode, we do want to talk about trust. Trust and trusting our men in this DJ industry. I think we all have a story or can relate. And I do want to, pinpoint on what specific maybe experiences that we've encountered and probably let people understand what we've done to surpass that trust issue. And we're still happily married. Absolutely. So, Raquel, what would you say would be your take on that?
Well, I feel like I get this question a lot from women.
A lot. Yeah.
And I actually had this question DM'd to me a couple weeks ago. And someone just reached out to me and asked me how I could trust a DJ, and, my answer was really just, it takes time to trust, right? So because we've been together for so long, I feel like trust is earned and it doesn't happen right away. So, of course, someone dating will have trust issues in the beginning because they don't know each other as well. When later on down the line, when you think of, when I think of B-Stang DJing, I support it because he loves it. So I don't think of it as like, oh, he's at a bar and there's people there that I don't know of. I think of it as, this is his career and I support that, right? So that's actually what I told her. She's in the beginning stages of a relationship. So she's going to go through different experiences and hopefully they learn to trust, and that's my take on it.
That's good.
I think really it's just earned.
Yes, that's great. What would you say for you, Vic?
Yes, it does take a long time to trust someone.
It seems for her, it still takes probably a long time for me.
Yes, I'm still learning and growing together. We were together for 7 years before, he popped the question. But when he was doing the DJ's gigs, there was, I just started learning the flow in the industry, and I didn't know that's the industry he comes to, which is risque women dressing up.
What
is that? What was that? Dressing up like those lingerie or French
and bustiers.
And I think he was DJing Cat House before at the time. I think it's closed now at Luxor, and it was just hard for me to see that, like, whoa, where is this coming from? And I see people or women, beautiful women, drunk, and I just had to be very protective, like
who wouldn't be?
Yeah. So that was just my first experience because I didn't know really what I'm getting myself into,
right?
And just the industry. So
that's when you were dating.
Yeah, we were dating, and it was just hard for me. And then I just realized, this is what he loves, and focusing on his music and coming home. And, he's just passionate with that. So it just takes me a while before.
Was there a specific event that happened?
There was a few where girls were drunk and coming up to him to the booth and whispering in his ear, and I'm like, okay, what is this, and I just started.
Music's loud, Vic. They have to tell him the song they want to hear, maybe.
Yes, that's true. So I kind of had a little.
Did you react to it?
No, not really. I mean, I was a little bit jealous, but there were times where I would block women and like, okay, what do you want? What song do you want?
You're like, I'm security.
But every day we would party a lot, clubbing a lot, and I'm getting used to seeing what he does and networking, but it just took me a long time before I trust him into doing his own thing, because as long as he comes home and I support what he does and he supports me of what I do, we just learn to trust one another. So just
think trust is the key
took a while.
Here, right?
Yes.
Obviously how you establish it, how long it takes. With everything, trust is developed, and it takes certain circumstances or events or outings to actually physically see what part of you needs to say, this is work. He's doing it professionally.
Yes.
You're there so he's not disrespecting you. And you learn to adapt to that environment, obviously knowing that your man is not disrespecting you. So
and I learned too a lot, like who his friends were and what he does afterwards. Like, after celebrating or DJing a club, we would go eat, and his friends introducing me to his friends. So it's fun to get to know what kind of people he hangs out with. So that's also one thing too. I have to trust his friends, making sure they're good people too.
But that built the trust, because he's inviting you out, and he's introducing you to his friends.
Yes.
He's not like trying to keep you separate.
Yes.
Which
I
he
really
invited
honor.
you into his
world. So that is a lot of respect to him too, and getting to know his world too. So it's really good that I got to see that kind of industry and lifestyle and what he's all about in the DJ world. So.
Right. For you, Bev, since D traveled around, you couldn't really jump on the plane with him or, been there, to experience these, so-called.
With the kids.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah. Well, I mean, for us, I think we probably win as far as number of years for developing that trust. But I think with your situation, it was sort of similar. Maybe by the time you dated Mark, you guys, or Mark was probably already serious and willing to settle down. For us, we were so young that it was sort of a roller coaster. I think in the beginning, I went with him to gigs, and then there were times when I didn't go with him to gigs, and there were people around, and and then like how Mark introduced you to some of his friends, some of Dave's friends at the time, again, when we were very young, weren't necessarily my friends. Let's just put it that way. So, there were probably more trust issues then, and we had to work through that because we were so young.
Yeah, that's
but
the thing.
Then it became more of a job, and now that he travels, I did get that question a lot. How do you trust him when he's always on the road or not around? And you just do. I mean, for me, I always believed in karma, and I always believe the truth always comes out. So if he chose to do something and risk our relationship, so be it, But it hasn't happened, and
it will not.
No,
it will not happen.
And so it's like what you said in the beginning, Raquel. It's about developing, and they have to prove it. They have to earn that trust, and they definitely have, I think. So otherwise, we wouldn't be here,
right?
Yes, exactly.
I think we have to applaud each other for our different experiences with our men, because obviously, for me, it was college time, so it was fun to go out and be about it, and go out with. Obviously, I love that I went out with him and to his gigs because I felt comfortable, and I love to dance, if you guys didn't know.
Yes.
So it was always just for me, it was like, it's time to play for me too, because I get to dance and he can put on my jams. But at the same time, I was always had that peripheral vision, like, wait, or something like that. It's just the natural instinct, because this is your man. So he started with the backyard boogies, and this was always fun, but you always did get all these college teens, but they acted like teens sometimes. So you develop all through, like, okay, this is a phase, this is what I need to get over, and you continue understanding his personal side, not just of DJing, but himself, which helps to build the trust, because if he respects you, he has good morals, values, and this is a job that he comes in with it. Naturally, the atmosphere is the music, the late hours, and networking with people that you may think are, intimidating for you because, they look a little bit better. They're like looking a lot more glamorous, and you're just like, wow, she's really cute. She's really pretty. You're like, wow. But then you grow up out of it. You have to. And if you don't, then it'll always travel with you. And I think you let it go, or you let go of that relationship.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Because it ain't healthy, and it's not worth being in a relationship that's going to cause us so much turmoil, because that atmosphere of DJing will never change, because there's always going to be the music, there's always going to be the events, there's always going to be the chaos of everything. It's just the setting. The setting is what it is. You just got to learn how to adapt with it and with confidence and trust your husband. Vice versa. I dance by myself sometimes. You get weirdos trying to dance. Nope, I stopped dancing. I was like, okay. I was like, I don't want to. No, my husband's right there. Boom, they leave. And that's all I do. So I know my part too, because it does takes two. But I love being around all his gigs, because he always does involve me, which that helps a lot when they want you to go, or not certain selective. Well, this one I need to go by myself. Why? Because you invited me the last couple of times. So then it would be something of like questionable. But it's been, I mean, I think all of us got through the point of like going through that phase of feeling that little insecurity and stuff, but developing and knowing that your relationship is pretty solid, because you see what you love aside of the music, aside of his job, and now that they do it as careers, we do have to support it.
Yes.
You know, but luckily all our men, and I think most, have another niche besides just DJing. They're good at something else off the side that does help, you know, do incorporate other things than just the music aspect of DJing. So I think anybody that would want to, maybe nowadays it's different. I can't say, because I know for some, being in Vegas, I don't know, would that change my, attraction? I don't know. I can't say that, but I'm luckily where we started and how our base started and how we developed our relationship. I'm grateful for that, because I can't say as of now, like, would I want to date a DJ? So I don't purposely want to date a DJ. It's just like you naturally meet somebody, and then you don't say like, you can't foresee that when you meet the person too. You naturally learn what their craft is, or what they do, or what they study.
Some people that do.
Yeah, I believe that.
That's just weird.
But I think the hardest or the most confusing to me is somebody who would seek out a DJ, but not accept the lifestyle.
Yes.
And be bothered by the hours or the events. That's so weird to me.
Yeah.
Or that they try to change, because now that they're dating me, maybe it'll just be different. He won't do as much gigs, or he'll do the gigs that I think are more suitable for us to be around, and not those, no, I'm sorry. It all goes.
I really think too, like, it's best to know a person. Like, don't seek the problem, seek the possibility of who he is first.
Right.
So I always hate looking at the title first. I like to seek what that person is all about. Can I trust them? Can I tolerate this? I don't tolerate him making excuses, not showing up on some places, so again,
that shows your character.
Yes.
Also, and it shows, like, because you're confident in yourself.
Yes.
So you're not seeking like this person that you think that they are. You have this confidence in yourself, and you have character. So that'll show what kind of relationship you'll have. You know what I mean?
And it goes back to, you have to be happy with yourself first.
Definitely.
Agree.
You can't find happiness from somebody else.
Yeah, then you're just going to be insecure all the time.
All the time, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. And on that note, I know with just the questions we get asked personally, you dating a DJ, how do you trust? There's also the concept of how do we trust the DJs being in the industry, because you see a lot of phases of true, genuine friendships or good, genuine business relationship versus some that only appear to be, but you know in the corner of your eye, like, I know where this is going, or I can see this cat not trying to be truthful, or trying to, overcome your husband's talent or career and, try to front. I'm sorry, you can see that.
Or being sleazy.
Yes. Have you guys experienced, and how do you guys, or how does your men deal with them, or do they tell you like, yeah, I gotta be cautious with this, or I gotta keep my eye, or do they ask your opinion? Do they say, what would you do?
Like, in the industry, again, it goes with trust, and Mark is super nice, but I think he had like an experience where It was an entertainment industry production, but I think they're out of business. But I believe he was overbooked, and drove all the way to the north side to do a gig. And sometimes he wouldn't get his check. I think it was like 2 or 3 times already, or maybe 4th. And this is when I had Ryu. He's still newborn.
Yeah.
And he comes back home. I'm like, why are you here? He's like, well, I got booked, or I didn't get my check because the owner didn't give me my check. And I was like, no, wait. Hold up.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot tolerate this. Like, this is a company, and I don't understand why they're not being accountable. And I'm not trusting this person because he's not giving you a check or whatever. What is this company name, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, which really sucks. So I'm glad I said my piece of like, don't go there. I don't want you to work for these people anymore. But I think they're no longer in the business anymore.
Wonder
but
why.
Yeah.
It's karma.
Yeah.
Karma.
And I'm so glad he listened to me, because I was like, you came all the way down here, wasted your gas, and
that's one thing. Don't mess with the financials. No, that's never gonna go right.
So that was just a sloppy kind of business, a person that I felt like you shouldn't trust this. Like, why are you still keep doing gigs for this person? And it's already probably the 3rd or 4th check. Like, no.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
that's it. Nothing. So
cut those ties.
And I'm glad he did cut it after that.
Yeah,
So
I think Brian had similar experiences in his early career when people were booking him in LA. And it was a certain promoter that was booking him a lot. And a couple times the promoter didn't pay him. And then so Brian's like, okay, forget it. I'm not going to do it again.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know how many times he let it go, because Brian's really nice.
yes, same like Mark.
But, you know, I really, I try not to get involved, you know, because Brian knows, he knows what he needs to do.
Exactly.
And he, I remember, he learned from that mistake. So then when he was promoting, he knew, I'm going to pay the DJ ahead of time, even if it's, so I think the promoter was like, we didn't make money, so I'm not going to pay you, even though Brian DJ'd the whole night.
Wow.
So Brian's like, so when he started promoting, he's like, I'm not doing that. Even if I have a bad night, I don't care if I take a cut. This guy came out to DJ.
That's awesome.
So, so he took it and spun it so that, you know, he made it to something positive.
Yes.
So I think that's why now he meets a lot of good people, you know, and I think he surrounds himself with pretty good, trustworthy people. I mean, of course, there's going to be 1 or 2 that slip through the cracks, you know, and I think he has a lot of people, because he's with Corner Bar. A lot of people are hitting him up for gigs, and sometimes he has a hard time saying no.
Yes.
I know him.
I think he was the type that wants to give the opportunity.
Yes.
And just, you know, it's just sometimes it's just not fitting, or the timing is just not right.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to come off as a jerk or something.
He always wants to help them.
Yeah.
You know, so like if he's like, oh, so-and-so needs money, so even if he doesn't need someone to help him, he'll be like, okay, let's get him in if I
lighthearted.
can.
Nice guy.
You know, and I think that's why he gets blessed with gigs, you know,
think so,
because
too.
he remembers moving here and not being able to get a gig, and having a hard time. So he's like, just like giving it back, I guess, as much as he could. So
Paying it forward.
Yeah. And, you know, hopefully he continues to meet just good people, you know, and surrounds himself with those people. And that's always what I hope for him, because that's going to make the difference, like your network, the people you hang out with. So there's always going to be one in the bunch.
Yes. What about you guys, Bev and Tanya?
I mean, Dave's always had unsavory characters through the years. They've been weeded out, you know, even recently. And it's a good thing. I think he's smart enough to hold his own. There have been times when I've pointed out, you know, things that are sort of like red flags.
Yes. It's funny how we can perceive those red
Yeah,
flags, but
because they don't see it. They have sycophants, you know, that are yes men, and they'll do anything for them. And he's had that like for years, decades even.
Wow.
And of course, he's not going to see that side of people. They're like shady people,
Yes.
shady wives, shady girlfriends who front like.
How do
They're
you deal with that though?
charming.
Like, if you know he's a genuinely good person, he's, you know, your significant other's like good friend or, you know, business partner, whatever the case may be, they collaborate in production, whatnot. But then the girl or the significant person is not to your likings. Like,
Do you
how
ever-
do we?
Do you
makes
ever
sense.
like mention that to your husbands? Like, look, she.
Yeah, I do. I probably know. I probably say I won't go to that gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
or
want to be
like-
forced. I'm not a hypocrite. I don't like to be
Same.
forced on, you know, speaking or being about it. If it's business, I can be business, you know.
We could be civil.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
I think you have to be civil. I think I'm a nice person. I try. I mean, I don't even think I try. I'm a friendly person, you know? And if you're going to be a bitch,
Right off the get-go, shoot.
and I didn't even know you,
Yes.
well, that doesn't say anything about me, I think. That says something about your
Yes.
ass.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's a judgment call at
Exactly.
that point. You know, I don't think I'm
I
way
think they're
older
intimidated
enough.
by you, Bev. Sometimes it's like,
No, I think there's just some mean people.
Yeah,
I
they
think
are.
Some
There's a
just
lot
are
of
just
mean
so
ones.
like I said, if you're not happy with yourself,
Mhm.
it's just gonna come out.
Do you think sometimes they're so intimidated that they're shy and awkward?
yes.
It could be?
It could be, yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
I've experienced that,
Yeah.
where it's like they're shy and awkward, and I think, what is wrong with this bitch?
Yeah.
What's wrong with her? You know. And later on, I got to know
Biggest
her.
sweetheart, right?
So sweet, but it was
yeah.
because she was awkward
Mhm.
and didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so scared to talk.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that. I remember
Yeah.
thinking, I hate her.
Yeah.
You know, like, not that I hate
Yeah.
her, but it was like,
And I
it,
think
yeah.
that's why in the beginning, I, you know, like I said, you make a judgment call, but it's not like you're gonna act on it and be like,
Yes.
step
Yeah.
off, you know,
Yeah.
right
Right,
away.
right, right.
It's
Right.
like, okay, well,
Give her the
first
benefit.
time,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
I
shame
was
on you, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
second time, well,
No.
Yeah.
I was like that actually. I was super quiet and shy because, you know, Mark is always like an outgoing social butterfly. And I didn't know the DJ world because he's always networking and everything. And people come up to him. So people thought I was a bitch. But
I thought you were snobby.
Yes.
Well,
You
with
were
your
shy.
hands crossed
Yes.
and, you know,
and like,
standing
I want to
there.
go home now. Like, what time is it?
Policing
Man, it's
him,
like
of
2
course.
a.m.
Yeah.
But I always ask him, babe, like, how do you come up with people? Can you teach me how to be that kind of
Approachable, yeah,
person? Like
just-
approachable, like just have to talk to them. A lot of people like to talk about themselves. So ask them a question because they
About
like
themselves.
Yes. I was like, okay, I will do that tactic. So now I'm just trying to
but see what happens when you
see
do
what
that.
happens. And then they
And
would tell
then
me
they don't act friendly.
that's true.
Then
Yeah,
you
then
know,
you know.
That's
when you
true.
know.
That's a foe. Yeah.
So
It's like, I'm asking you about yourself, but
yeah,
Yeah.
so you get those kind of weird ones, but they do admit later, you know what? I thought you were a bitch, but you're really cool and sweet. I'm like, thank
you
you.
can call those girls out that are not, this relationship's not going to last. Like, you know, it's where it's going to go. Or
you never
Or
know,
I've
dude.
had that.
Oh my
but
god.
Some
really,
people
you know
get
what?
married.
That's very true.
And then divorced.
True.
I've actually seen it.
That
you
is
know,
true.
Yeah.
And
I may be.
we've seen a lot of
Yes.
relationships come and go in the time that
You are
Dave and I have
correct.
been together.
Yeah.
So you never know. Some people don't see it.
No.
Some people just don't see it.
Blind. Love is
Yeah.
blind.
Yeah, love is blind.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then, you know, there are people that are just psychotic charmers,
Ooh,
you know,
yeah,
who
a
just
lot.
are charming to all these people.
But
And everyone
they're
thinks they're so
negative,
nice.
yeah.
But maybe to you,
Yes.
hmm,
And I think it's harder now to like see through them because of how social media is.
yes.
I know everybody loves to post everything and some to just the happy moments and whatnot, or what you think that person is, and you give people the benefit of the doubt. So you say there must be really awesome because this person is really awesome, and
Everything
they seem like they
post.
complement together. Blah blah blah, and then you're like, oh damn, that's black and white for sure, you know. So yeah, we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot throughout these years. I think now it's just social media and what's about it. Some is just for the name of it. Your husband is so and so. Yeah, I'm his wife, or I'm the wifey. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see how long that lasts, you know. And I just think respecting of yourself and giving yourself your own sense of like what you got to bring aside of your husband being who he is. I think that's great and all that but don't like shadow yourself against him and try to put that up front to say, well, he's my boyfriend or he's my husband, and yeah, you need to like, I act a certain way now. No, I'm sorry. No, it doesn't work that way. That gets lost pretty quick. So, but it gets so overwhelming when it's all about social media and how you see somebody and the truth comes out. And after when you meet them in person and you're like, whoa, wait, yeah, was that the same girl that just scrolled through her or saw her stories?
Is that the same girl that has thousands of followers and people are just on their jock? But then in person, you're like, why?
What a way. Yeah. It's
But
almost like they
DJwives
need to work on
LV.
themselves. It's not that they're bad, they're just like, they're not genuine. Period.
Yes.
I'm sorry, and it's
But
the type of business.
us girls, they know we're cool and
Yeah, we're cool.
we're legit. So whatever you see on Instagram,
Is what you
that's
get.
real. What you
Yeah.
get.
yeah,
Real
there's no
stuff.
fakeness here. So
We tell it like it is. You're either gonna like us or you're gonna love us. No other. That is it. But that's a great topic, and I hope it helped maybe other relationship or other people that were inquiring the both sides of it, trusting your man in the DJ industry and those that are working in the DJ industry and how they actually have to defeat certain conflicts and business and be able to differentiate that. And the ladies that we come across or the gentlemen that date the women that are DJs and also tend to be who they think we are, and they're just totally different person. They're masked. So we get both sides of it, and I think we're pretty honest with what we've experienced. But I think everybody always sometimes has a little bit more to learn from themselves. So, to one is their own, but that's our take on it, and I think we clarified our perception of it. So we thank you for listening. This has been a fun episode. More topics to come for sure. And
Definitely.
if you guys want to follow us, Vic, where you can tell them where to follow us.
Follow us on Instagram for all updates and all our podcasts.
And don't forget to subscribe.
thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.